While working at home, Mathilde Ramadier is free to put on a record whenever she fancies. She lives in Berlin and now works as a writer. Her book, Bienvenue dans le Nouveau Monde, or Welcome to the New World, is a damning critique of startup companies. It's based on her experiences at 12 different Berlin startups.
When I
think about the past, I feel like I just wasted my time. But it was at least an experience, and afterwards I wrote this book. It gave me a more precise idea of what this new kind of workplace was like.
Ramadier has also produced a couple of graphic novels about the hip and trendy German capital. Before moving to Berlin, she studied philosophy in her native France. Like thousands of others, she was drawn by the cool image of Berlin's startups.
At
that time, there were a lot of new startups in Berlin and lots of job adverts. But as I discovered when I got here, there was no minimum wage. And that was very shocking for me.
Despite working full-time, she earned little more than €1,000 a month, not much more than people on welfare. Now, when she's not working at home, she uses a co-working space in Berlin. Around 100,000 people are currently employed in Berlin's startup scene. Fixed contracts lasting more than 2 years are the exception. And the jobs are often not very demanding.
I worked as an editor for one startup, and in the end I was just filling out Excel tables or writing promotional slogans for Google robots. It was the same thing every day. And I needed a master's in literature to do the job. It was just absurd.
Experts say 1 in every 2 startups goes bust within 5 years, and only 1 in 10 is really making a profit by that time. As a result, employees are often forced to work 10-hour days for very little money. She found the hip, young vibe didn't live up to its promise.
It was funny. People kept saying there was no hierarchy anymore. And we're all managers, even if you're just the manager of an Excel table or whatever. It was also hypocritical. There is a hierarchy. I experienced it. There's a CEO, there's a boss, and it's nearly always a man.
Ramadier has had enough of the startup world. Her main office is now her home.
Being an author doesn't just mean sitting at home on your own writing and making sure you have the copyright. You can do residency programs, apply for grants, go to conferences, do public readings and translation work too. I like translating from German or English. All that is part of being a writer today, and you can earn a living from it.
Mathilde Ramadier turned her negative experiences into a book and launched her writing career at the same time. Her latest graphic novel is about the life of her great role model, French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre. And he, of course, called for rigorous self-determination.